house building and infrastructure, infrastructure building. What this government's got, which, you know, the Tories try to do some of this, but of course a lot of the Conservative MPs, it's a long-term problem. This government wants to fix it. It's going to get rid of quite a lot of the bureaucracy, the red tape around the planning rules, which has held back.
Was Angela Rayner deliberately set up to fail by Starmer's team? According to Lord Ashcroft's explosive biography, Rayner was so frustrated with her impossible housing mandate that she threatened to walk away until Tony Blair personally intervened. One Labour MP confessed the 1.5 million homes target is completely unachievable, yet Rayner publicly maintains there's no excuse for failure. In this video, I'm exposing the political game being played at the highest levels of government and why this power struggle reveals Starmer's true leadership style. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
It's about your former Labour colleagues, and apparently Angela Rayner, who I know you're good friends with, is repeatedly threatening to quit because she doesn't think that the government can meet its 1.5 million housing target.
I mean, I am friends with her as well, but I mean, I think she's brilliant, and she's got a big agenda. She's got to build houses, and yes, that is a very stretching target, 1.5 million.
Will you achieve it? I mean, otherwise it's another broken promise, isn't it? And you've accused the Conservatives of broken promises.
Well, I would eat my hat if Angela Rayner
we will get you a hat served on a silver platter.
Quit the cabinet. I think I'm a big fan of Angela Rayner. I think she's fantastic.
When Angela Rayner enthusiastically accepted her role as housing secretary, she likely had no idea she was stepping into what many now describe as a political death trap. Labour's grandiose pledge to deliver 1.5 million new homes in just 5 years initially appeared to be a golden opportunity for Rayner to cement her reputation as a formidable political force. But beneath the surface of this ambitious promise lurked a stark, uncomfortable reality that industry experts had been warning about since day one. Construction specialists didn't mince words when the target was first announced, with one prominent developer telling colleagues it represented fantasy politics at its worst. This skepticism wasn't merely pessimism. It was grounded in cold, hard facts about Britain's construction capacity. The mathematical impossibility of the situation becomes clearer when we examine the numbers. To meet the 1.5 million goal, builders would need to complete 300,000 homes annually, a figure the UK hasn't achieved since the 1960s, when council house building was at its peak.
Not had a good record on that recently. But look, this government's got to build houses. I mean, there'll be so many of your viewers who are just trapped out of the dream of home ownership because we've been so useless as a country for years now at building houses and helping people onto the property. Yeah, of course. Well, they've got to achieve it. I mean, it's not me anymore.
I know it's not. I say by association, Jonathan, as you are still really a Labour man through and through, and who knows, you may stand again.
Well, let's see what happens there.
What makes this situation particularly troubling is Rayner's initial bravado. In her first major housing speech, she confidently declared there would be absolutely no excuse for missing the target. This declaration now hangs around her neck like a political albatross as she confronts the brutal trinity of obstacles: critical material shortages that have plagued post-Brexit Britain, a construction workforce decimated by retirement and EU worker exodus, and a planning system that remains fundamentally broken despite promised reforms. Sources within Rayner's own team have started privately acknowledging the impossible nature of their task. One senior advisor, speaking on condition of anonymity, revealed the growing sense of dread within the department. We're being asked to make bricks without straw, literally and figuratively. The target was never realistic, and now we're all just waiting for the inevitable failure. Perhaps most damning are the whispers emerging from Labour backbenchers. One MP from a northern constituency was surprisingly candid in a private parliamentary gathering. Angela's been handed a hospital pass. This housing target was designed to be impossible from the start. It's the perfect way to neutralize a potential rival. Give them enough rope to hang themselves with an impossible task. The housing crisis has become the battleground for deeper power struggles between Starmer and Rayner that date back to their leadership contests. Their philosophical differences on policy direction and frequent clashes over strategy have created an atmosphere where Rayner's failure might actually benefit certain factions within Labour's power structure. Rayner's growing frustration reportedly reached breaking point during a heated cabinet meeting where updated construction forecasts were presented. According to multiple sources familiar with the discussion, Rayner was so furious at the revelation of additional supply chain problems that she threatened to resign on the spot rather than continue as the public face of an inevitable failure. That heated cabinet meeting would have ended with Rayner's dramatic exit, if not for an extraordinary intervention that reveals who truly holds the reins of power in labor. According to explosive revelations in Lord Ashcroft's updated biography, Red Flag, it wasn't Starmer who convinced his deputy to remain, it was Tony Blair. The former prime minister, 17 years removed from office, personally reached out to Rayner in what sources describe as a critical intervention that averted a leadership crisis. This remarkable behind-the-scenes maneuver raises profound questions about labor's power structure. Why would Blair involve himself so directly? And more importantly, why did his intervention succeed where Starmer's persuasion apparently failed? The answer reveals the uncomfortable truth about who actually shapes labor's direction from the shadows. Blair's fingerprints on this crisis suggest Starmer's new labor project may be little more than Blair 2.0. A continuation of New Labor's legacy with a different figurehead. When a former leader can diffuse a cabinet crisis with a single call, it exposes the extent to which Blair's influence continues to shape party decisions. This shadow governance undermines the notion that Starmer represents a genuine break from the past. Of course, Rayner's allies fiercely contest this narrative. One source close to the deputy PM insists, "We do not recognize the claims made. Angela is proud to be serving as deputy prime minister in Keir's cabinet and delivering on Labour's crystal clear commitment to build 1.5 million homes." This carefully worded denial stands in stark contrast to multiple accounts of her resignation threat, creating a credibility gap that only fuels speculation about the true state of Labour's internal dynamics. The political calculation here is brutally simple. Starmer has positioned himself in a win-win situation, while Rayner faces a potential lose-lose outcome. If by some miracle she meets the impossible housing targets, Starmer takes credit for the achievement as party leader. If she fails, which industry experts consider inevitable, she becomes the scapegoat, allowing Starmer to distance himself from the debacle. This creates a perfect political trap. Either outcome strengthens Starmer's position while potentially weakening a deputy who many view as his most formidable internal rival. Meanwhile, mounting evidence shows housing numbers falling further behind targets as construction sector warnings grow more dire by the week. What's unfolding before our eyes is nothing short of political theater at its most calculated. While Rayner maintains a brave public face, declaring there is no excuse for missing the target, the machinery behind her is already constructing a narrative of inevitable failure. Her allies can insist she's proud to be serving as deputy prime minister all they want. The reality speaks volumes. This calculated positioning reveals Starmer's true political acumen. By creating this impossible housing challenge, he's engineered a situation where Labour voters will eventually need to pick sides in this internal power struggle. The coming months will expose whether this fragile alliance can withstand the mounting pressure as construction realities collide with political ambitions.